and welcome to a special edition of the Rhody Rumble podcast. Today, I'm joined by the newest member of the Charlotte FC organization in the MLS, highest drafted Rhode Island Ram in program history, selected 12th overall in last week's draft, Patrick Agyemang. Thank you again for joining me. Congratulations. How are you today?
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me. I'm good. Happy to be here, and I'm excited to talk to you, man.
Yeah, of course. I'm excited to hear about your draft experience and like I was just saying, some of the next steps that you're gonna take here with Charlotte FC. With the career ahead of yourself, I'm sure it's an exciting time for you and your family. So I'm definitely excited to learn a little bit more about it. So first off, just how did it feel to hear your name and to have all your closest friends and family around you in the room when it happened?
Man, it was like I couldn't believe it when I heard I didn't even hear my name when I reacted, man. I just heard Rhode, like Rhode Island. Like that's all I heard. I was just like, there is no way he's about to say my name. It was just a surreal moment, and I was just so happy to have all those people around me, man. They sacrificed so much in my life just to put me in a situation. So it was great to have those people, but it was just a sigh of relief. Like, wow, I'm really had this opportunity now. So it was good.
Yeah, it must be a rewarding feeling, and I can imagine that being a pretty cool holiday gift for you and your family. Definitely one that you'll never forget.
Yeah, definitely. I can never forget that, man. It was insane.
That's awesome. Yeah, the video looked crazy. It looked like, so many people were there, almost everyone in your life that just helped you, from point A to point B to get to where you are now. I can imagine, I mean, I can't imagine actually being in an atmosphere like that. And like you said, I just heard Rhode Island and everyone started going crazy. It just must be such a good feeling. You get the goosebumps kind of thinking about it.
Yeah, no, I always do when I look back at that day. I see videos. I look back some days when I'm just laying, getting ready to go to sleep or something, and I just look back at videos. And I'm like, this really happened. Like this is real life, and it's just, man, I'm just so grateful, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy that this happened to me, but it's to start something new, and I just want to get going. I'm just so excited.
Yeah, absolutely. So were you expecting Charlotte to select you? And, now that they have, how does it feel to be a part of that organization?
Yeah, I was very happy that they picked me. I had really good conversations with them. They made me feel at home right away when I was talking with them. It seemed like the conversation was just about us and this people individual, and it just seemed like they were a really tight group of people. So I was happy when they did select, because I did. After the combine, I was like, oh, Charlotte was really nice conversation. So I was definitely looking forward to it. And when I heard my name from them, I was just like, like wow, this is exciting. Like city of Charlotte, I've never been there, but I always heard good things about it. And there's people down there that I know that just told me good things about it, and that they're willing to help me if anything. So it was just like it seemed like it was meant to be.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely one of those situations where it's like everything happens for a reason. And, when you're a little kid, you just dream of hearing your name being drafted and you don't know where you're gonna go. But when it finally hits you, you just have so many emotions and you don't really know how to react. But I want to ask about the showcase or the combine. What was that process like for you? And, getting down there, how were you able to show off your skills in such a, small timeline or time frame? And then did you kind of have an idea of what teams were interested in you, or was it kind of a no-brainer going in?
So going in, like flying out there and everything, I kind of went at it like, okay, not many people know who I am. Like I'm playing at a small school compared to these kids, and that's standard. A lot of these kids are high ACCs, Pac-12, like all these kids that always make it to the tournament. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I knew going into there, I was one of the guys that not many people knew, but my mind was like, just enjoy it. Like not many people have this opportunity, and if you're having fun, if you're playing the game you love and you're smiling with it, you're gonna play fine. Like you're gonna play well. And I went with that mindset instead of like I had to do this, I have to do that. Because if I go, I have to do this, I have to do that, I'm gonna be panicking.
Right.
So I went at it in a way where I just wanted to have fun. I met a lot of great guys out there, and we just all were just together. It was like a family for like the 4 days we were there. So it made me feel even more comfortable. And I knew what I could do. I know what I'm good at. So I focused on doing those things, and it allowed me to showcase myself even more on off the ball things and stuff like that. And I started getting confident. And in terms of the teams, yeah, I had a couple of meetings with some, and I kind of had an understanding that the teams were interested in me and stuff like that. And each day I played, and I started to showcase myself even more and even more. And I started to realize that I had a good chance. I had a good chance of getting picked. I didn't know whether it was going to be the first round or second round, but I knew that at some point I would be selected somewhere. So I went at the showcase with just the ease mind and just the smile, have fun, and just enjoy the moment. And it kind of opened up chances for me. Just me being confident in myself, and I was able to showcase myself really well.
Yeah, I can imagine that being, a lot of pressure on you, a lot of things crossing your mind in that moment. And I'm sure a lot of adrenaline as well with it. But to have that, mentality that it's just another game, another practice, and show up with a smile on your face. And, it's just kind of an honor to be there in the first place, along with
Mm-hmm.
those other prospects that would get drafted. So I can imagine, those 4 days being definitely overwhelming and stressful, but now obviously rewarding for you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it was very tough.
Yeah.
Physically, mentally, you see these coaches, and it's my first time seeing these coaches all walking around. I'm like, whoa, like but it's hard because you gotta realize you're here for a reason, and you don't want to make it seem like these guys are all better than me. It's just like no, like you all got selected for a reason, and it's an honor to be there. But you're here for a reason. You're here to showcase yourself, and I had to tell myself that a couple of times because I'm like, dang, all these kids play NCAA tournament. Like, I
Mhm.
haven't played that. Like, da da da. It's like all these thoughts. But once you go there and you kind of get in your zone, man, when I got in my zone, I was like, this is what I love to do. Like, I just, like, no one's going to stop me from what I love to do?
Yeah.
And, and the best part about it was everyone there kind of had a similar mentality going into it. They were there. They were happy to be selected. There was only 44 people in the country. Like, that's insane.
Yeah.
And so everyone was just honored to be one of them. And we just had a good time. And when you have a good time, it brings out the best of you. It brings out your personality, and it shows who you really are. And I was happy that it wasn't so tense where everyone's just like, I have to do this, I have to do this. Because I was like, if it's like that, man, no one's gonna play the way they want to play. But everyone expressed himself, and it put my pressure down because I felt so pressured. I was like, I have to show up, I have to show up, I have to do this. But man, I couldn't have asked for it to be even better. But physically, it was tough. It was definitely tough.
Yeah, and I'm sure it was, but when it's your passion and when you're passionate about something, it doesn't feel like that much of hard work.
Mhm.
It feels like, you're definitely, working physically and mentally, but it's not something that's dragging you down or bringing you down because again, like you said, there's 44, players in the country that were selected. And, when you're passionate about that from such a young age, because, I remember talking to you over the summer and kind of hearing a little bit about your upbringing and your story and just hearing, from going from Division 3 to where you are now at URI and sticking with
Yeah,
soccer all these years and, other sports in the mix as well. But now you're on, essentially one of the biggest stages and you're competing, for a spot to be selected in the MLS. I mean, I can imagine it's stressful, but you're passionate about it. So it doesn't feel like it's that much of hard work.
man, literally, because it's crazy because soccer opened up so many avenues for myself. In terms of people I meet and and education and all these things that it really brought me through. So it's just like, why stop? Because if I keep going, maybe other things will open up and stuff like that.
Sure.
Most of my closest friends and family all are soccer orientated, and it's like I met my people, like my close people, through soccer. So it's like I'm gonna keep going. Like, why not? Why do I have to stop? And if I feel like if I have a chance, why not? Opportunities present themselves. I'm gonna try my best, and that's what I'm pretty sure we talked about that in the summer.
Yeah.
And it's like when these opportunities did end up presenting themselves, I took it the same way that I said. Like, I'm gonna go at it the same way. I'm gonna go at it myself. I'm not gonna change because the reason why I'm there is because of who I am. So it's just crazy. Like when I look back, um, of everything of my whole process. Like I try to look back, and I'm like, this doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense how I'm even here. But I think it's just having that faith and just sticking with it. It just is good, man. It's sigh of relief for sure.
Yeah, so I want to backtrack to that. When we spoke over the summer, you told me about your story from transferring from Division 3 at Eastern Connecticut State, and something you spoke about during the pandemic, you transferred to URI and you didn't know, how much playing time you'd get, because we were in the middle of COVID. So now that
Yeah.
it's all said and done and you kind of reflect on your collegiate career, both from ECSU and also URI, how rewarding is it just to see that all the hard work is paid off?
Man, it's crazy. I look back and I'm just like, I can't even count the amount of times I thought to myself, is it worth it? Is it worth this? Is it worth that? Like, man, when you play college soccer, the ultimate goal is to win your conference tournament. You want to win. You want to go to NCAA tournament. And I never was able to play an NCAA tournament, whether it was Division 3 or Division 1. And every year it felt like I was just doing the same thing on repeat, on repeat, on repeat. I would stress my body out. I would sacrifice so much just to lose in a specific area that is always happening, you know? And man, I found myself in my room, just like in my head. And for this to pay out the way it did, it's just, I'm like, see, I told you, like, because you tell yourself, like, you try to give yourself confidence when you're down, and you like, it's gonna pay out, it's gonna pay out. But you're like, is it really gonna pay out? But you're just like, let me say it and speak it into existence. And when it's able to happen, it's just like, look, man, we did it. Like we finally did what we really wanted. So like, I just say I was able to trust my process, and especially for kids that are going to college now and they want to play next level and they believe they want to do stuff like that. It's just to trust your own process, man. Trust your own process and realize that God got you, man. Because if you don't trust your process, you're gonna be a mess. Like I found
Sure.
myself panicking. I found myself overthinking so much things, and I had good people around me that just kept me down. And that's why you see so many people in that room.
Yeah.
Because I promise you, every single one of them had a role. They had a role in my life, and just to getting to that area. So it's just trusting the process and being yourself. Like it just it's crazy, but I'm happy. I'm happy that I was able to kind of succeed through it, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. So if you could tell 18-year-old or 19-year-old, Patrick Agyemang any words of advice or words of wisdom, what would you tell him right now?
I would literally say, bro, trust your process, keep going, and God got you, bro. Because I did not believe anything. I did not believe none of this would happen. And I promise you, like, in your head, you're like, I always thought in my head I wanted to be a professional soccer player. That's standard, 100%. And I
Sure.
always say that I always have that dream. Like you can ask anybody, but when it comes to reality, it's like, whoa, like this is actually happening. Let's actually have a chance at this. You actually have an opportunity to do this. That's when I was like, well, you actually were saying this. You're speaking to existence. Now it's happening. Like it's just like a surreal moment. But sticking with it, because everything you do is gonna be hard. I'm sure, like when you're doing this podcast stuff like that, like this is what you enjoy doing,
Yeah,
and having the people that you really want to come on. Sometimes it can be hard when you're like, I'm not gonna, but you're still sticking with it, and that's the
absolutely.
same thing. Like you don't want to, you're it's your passion. You're good at something. It's gonna be hard, no matter what. But sticking with that, man, and trusting the process is the only thing you could truly do to find success in something that you love, man.
Yeah, that's really inspiring. Yeah, I can totally relate there. Obviously, there have been guests, that I've tried to get on, but I think
Mm-hmm.
I can definitely relate in that you just got to keep going and that you got to
Yeah.
keep hustling and eventually, you'll get there. I'm a senior myself, so I'm graduating in the spring, but you
Mm-hmm.
know, right now it's the job application process. Where am I going to be working next year? Sports media is so broad, you could go
Yeah.
down podcasting, broadcasting, so many different avenues like soccer. But it's I don't know where I'm gonna be in 4, 5, 6 months from now. Hopefully, if we do this again, I'll have a better idea of where I'll be at, where my job or where I'll be working. But I think that motivation that you carry throughout your career and you're gonna continue to carry, is that you just got to keep going and trust the process. I think that's just really inspiring, and that just goes without saying in life, not just soccer or podcasting or
Like,
whatever it is. So yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
bro, definitely, man.
Yeah, I want to shift gears a little bit to Charlotte again. So, you mentioned you haven't had the opportunity to go down to Charlotte or anything and check out the facilities or meet with anyone, right?
Mm-mm. No, I haven't. I haven't.
Have you met with anyone in the front office, from coaches to general managers or anyone like that?
Yeah, I met with a couple of people that's affiliated. I met with like scouts on the team and I'm pretty sure like GMs and stuff. It's people that are like higher up. I've been on the phone with the coaches and staff and all that. So I've had good communication with all of them, and they all seem such like great people. So like it already feels at home in a sense. Like I feel like when I go out there, I'm gonna be like, like okay, I knew I was gonna feel good about this place, and I'm just excited. But yeah, I haven't met any of the head coaches or anything yet, but hopefully when I go down, I'll be connected with them and all that.
Yeah, for sure. That communication always sort of nerve-wracking. You want it to be such a smooth transition, but it sounds like, you're confident in the few conversations that you've had. So
Yeah,
what are you looking forward to, just the most about playing in that city and just in front of that fan base?
playing in the stadium, man. I think every kid's dream is to play in a stadium that's full or has a lot of fans in there that you don't even know who you're looking at. Like that's
Yeah.
been my dream. I was 13 or so. I just I want to be able to kick the ball and then not go into the street or something. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like it's in an enclosed place, and that's been my dream since I
Yeah.
was young. And I always thought about that. But yeah, I can't wait to given the chance to step on the field, play like my MLS debut and all of that, and just be around that environment. See the fans. I know the fans are gonna be crazy, and I'm just excited for that. Like I just want to see all of them and just be around that and meet my new teammates and just trusting the process. I'm so excited for that. And obviously, of course, it's a new city I've never been around. I want to explore. I want to see how that is and just enjoy being somewhere new.
Yeah, I haven't been to Charlotte myself. I hopefully I get the chance to go down there at some point, but I've heard only great things. So
Yeah.
I definitely think it'll be a good fit for you. And I think another thing that I just thought of is, something I guess when you're a kid and you want to be a pro athlete, you play the video games, whether it's like 2K or FIFA, and
The
now you'll
FIFA.
actually be, you won't have to make a career or make a player. You'll actually be in the game for, a sense. So for something like that, I think that's kind of crazy to think about is that you could actually play as yourself in the game. You can sort of really take on this career. You don't have to kind of make it up in your head. It's manifested and now it's reality.
Man, the amount of I think every FIFA I've owned, I've created myself and just started in the MLS somewhere and then went up. Like I did it my whole. If I see myself in FIFA, I'm probably gonna laugh. Like there's no way I'm really here. Like there's no way. But that's the process. That's part of the process of just being on a team and stuff like that. It comes with all these rewards and it's like the little things that may not seem a big deal, but bro, if I see myself on FIFA, I'll be shook.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
grew up
insane.
playing games like that too, and I always did the my career players and stuff like that. I always
Yeah.
just dreamed of getting there. Obviously, I don't think it's gonna happen at this point for me, but yeah, no, I can't imagine. Hopefully, if I get the new game when it comes out, I can definitely check that out. That would be pretty cool. And for you to go down to Charlotte and kind of experience all of that, the fans, the games, sort of I guess the sponsorships, just I guess the amenities around in that city, and what that community has to offer. It's definitely going to be really cool for you to kind of break into the MLS and for Charlotte FC as well.
Yeah, man. It's so like you could tell I still haven't took it in fully yet.
Yeah,
But it's just so cool that like this opportunity is here and it's man, I'm just grateful, man. It's like you look back, like we said, you look back and you think of your process and in all aspects. It's just I've grown in all areas of my life, and it's such a gradual growth. But when I look back, I'm like I was nowhere near as the 17-year-old kid going to preseason at Eastern to the 22-year-old now. Like it's
right.
just
Yeah,
it's crazy, but I'm just happy, man. I can't wait.
yeah. Yeah, with that said, a few more questions for you. Is going to the MLS something, that you've manifested happening, since you played Division 3? Did you think that was possible, or did it sort of pick up steam and, really evolve over the last couple months?
So I think when I was at Eastern, um, I had a shift in mentality when I was in high school about junior to senior, and it was because my sophomore year, I was on the bench for my high school team, and it was because of me. Like it wasn't. I'm not blaming them. It was because of myself. I wasn't good enough, and my mentality was nowhere near. So I didn't play sophomore year as much. I was on the bench the whole time, and I kind of started reflecting. I promise you, I reflected for like after the season for like a month or so, and I'm like, what are your goals? Like I was like, what are truly your goals?
Mhm.
And I shifted my mentality from like, oh, these guys are like they're better than me in areas right now than I am to you got to step up your game, and it's all on you. That's the reason why you're not here. Like, don't put it on somebody else, you know. So I started to shift, and then I started to think more like, if you want to make it anywhere in this career, whether it's the highest you place high school or college, you want to be the best. I was like, I want to be the best in all areas. So I started having that shift senior year. I started showing it a little bit, and when I went to Eastern my freshman year, I was like, if you even have any dreams of playing Division 1, you got to be the best here, you know? And
Yeah.
I kept saying that, but I'll say it to myself, and it'll be my motivation. So when I go in the field, I'll play. And I just kind of use that to motivate myself. I'll use little things. So when I got to Division 1, I was like, if you want to be a pro, you got to do the deed here. Like, you got to go
Sure.
crazy here. So that it was like little things. I've set goals for myself, and I kind of was trying to achieve it each time. And maybe I didn't achieve it to the full extent, but I think in myself, I'm like pleased with what I did. So it was the mentality piece that kind of drove me a lot.
That certainly panned out for you. I mean, you look at
Mhm.
where you've come, from Division 3 or even high school and beyond that to URI. But with that being said, on URI, what are you gonna miss the most about playing at Rhody and just for Coach Elliott?
Oh man, gonna miss my teammates, man. Like being going to the locker room and just hearing them do whatever, like say all this, like joke around with each other, man. Like all that good vibe and energy. I'm gonna miss that a lot because I think when I first got to Rhode Island, like I was hesitant, I was nervous, but they welcomed me so quickly, and they stuck like that the whole
Yeah.
way. And it's that that bond is there. Like it's a good bond, and I'm gonna miss that. I'm gonna miss playing at the soccer complex too, man. 7 p.m. With those sunsets and just getting ready to play. The fans, man, all of that. I'm gonna miss it a lot, man. Just being there and walking around campus and stuff like that. It's something I'm gonna miss, but I think I had my time there. It's a good enough time there for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the perfect amount of time to be there. And again, you certainly made the most of it. I think something that really stands out from what you said, and we kind of talked about this the last time, was just how they kind of welcomed you with open arms and they really believed in you. And you stepped up when, again, you didn't know, no one really knew anything during the pandemic.
Yeah,
You didn't know when you'd be playing, you didn't know when the season would start, if you'd be playing, if there
yeah,
was going to be a season or anything like that. But the chemistry you developed with your teammates, on and off the field, really shows the kind of family atmosphere and family, vibe that you guys have as a program. And I think that definitely goes without saying.
yeah, man. It's serious, bro. And I think that bond has always been there, and I think it's always gonna continue to be there for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Two more questions for you. What can Charlotte FC and just the MLS in general, expect from you as a player?
Yeah, I think they're gonna see someone that's willing to learn, just willing to work hard and adapt to his new environments. I obviously this is professional. I've never been in a professional environment ever,
Right.
so I'm willing to learn, and I'm not expecting myself to have immediate impacts in ways that aren't realistic, you know. But I do expect myself to learn and adapt, and just if I get the chance to play, I hope that I'm able to impact really well. I don't want to be here just as a number. I want to make a name for myself, and I know that these seasons are longer, so it's a process, and I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to be guided and do all these things to really benefit myself and the team. I want to be able to impact the team really well and just showcase my talents, you know, and the reason why I'm here. I don't want to get like lost in that mentality piece, but I want to enjoy it and just be around the people and play and do what I love.
Definitely enjoy it. I mean, I think, understanding that, it's something that is going to be challenging to start, and that there are going to be, obstacles that you have to go through being a professional once you begin. Understanding that right off the bat, I think is half the battle. And, I think something you said, just willing to learn, showing that you're willing to learn, I think that will go a long way because it'll only make you better, each season, as long as you play. It'll only make you better as a player. It'll only make you better communicating with your teammates as a team. So I think just willing to learn, willing to communicate. Obviously, there's going to be things in Charlotte that are different. The way the team operates, the way that the coaches coach, the way that the players work in the locker room and on the field. It's going to be a lot different than Rhode Island, than Eastern Connecticut. So
Yeah.
definitely, willing to learn and kind of get those things out of the way early on so that, it makes you more successful in the end. I think that's definitely a good point to what you're going to be accomplishing in the coming months once you arrive in Charlotte.
Yeah, definitely, man. I think learning is so important because yes, you're a professional and you're in that environment, but man, this is like my first time ever touching this. I don't know like you always can learn with this game. It's crazy.
Right.
I think every professional in this world can still learn in some degree. Obviously, there's the exceptions that just seem to master the game, like Leo Messi. Like who's touching that guy? but but you could always learn, and I love that so much because every time I step on the field, it's like what I always look back. I'm like, what did I gain from today? What did I do different? What did I try to change up? And I love that because I'm gonna be around people that may have that skill down that I'm looking for, and I can
Sure.
learn, observe from them, learn from them. I may be lacking in this spot and have coaches guide me to be the best in this spot. Always, man. And I think that exactly like you said, when you learn, you keep learning, that's only gonna make you better.
I think they'll be able to learn from you as well. There's definitely, skills that they definitely need help improving or enhancing that you may have already in your arsenal that you can, kind of provide as well. And I think that's another reason why, they might have drafted you and seen something in you is that,
Yeah.
they want you to be a part of the team. They see a fit. They see you coming in and making an impact. So I think it goes both ways. I think you'll be able to learn from them and they'll be able to learn from you.
Yeah, definitely. I hope so. I hope so.
Yeah, one more question for you. What is your message just to all the fans, the Rhody fans, fans of yours, and of course the Charlotte FC fans?
I think for Rhody, just thank you for welcoming me. I think right away when I was playing, new season, new place, new team, and everybody just welcomed me so well. And I promise you, I tried my best every time I got on the field. I just wanted to play for you guys. Obviously, I play for my teammates and my coaches, but we play for the fans, man. Like you guys are taking your time to come watch us, and we really want to showcase where we're working here. So I just want to say thank you for that. And always being there. I feel like, man, Rhody's supporting me so much. Like it's crazy, and I never feel like I deserve it. I was like, why are these people like showing so much love, man? But I'm just grateful for that. Rhody's community is always so tight knit, and I think that it should stay like that. So always love to Rhody, man. Comes to Charlotte, I'm just excited to see everybody. I'm excited to see all of them, and I'm excited to showcase my talents and hopefully to prove to you guys that I'm willing to learn and stay and stick around and just enjoy the new ride because this is the second season, and I hope that this season is one of the most successful. I hope that obviously last year, new year, and they still did well as a new team. So I hope that this year we could do even better and do more and win something. That's definitely my goal, and just enjoy it, have fun, and showcase the talents, man.
Absolutely, Patrick. Best of luck. We're all watching and rooting for you. We'll be watching from afar. Thank you again, for taking a couple of minutes, and I look forward to staying in touch. And best of luck again.
Yes, sir. Thank you, man. Hoping that the podcast starts going crazy, man. It's looking good for sure. But thank you
I'll
for
ha-
having me on.
of course, I'll have to have you on again after your first season or something, and just to start, man. Just enjoy it.
Yes, sir,
Appreciate it.
man. Definitely anytime, anytime.